My name is Drew.
What up, what up, what up? It's Pat.
How are you, bro?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
We get off school at 1 now, so my students are in school from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock with a 30-minute break.
So get up.
Yeah, what's up? Thursday morning for you.
Thursday morning, one of those days where you're just kind of waiting for Friday.
Indeed, but we got the finals tonight.
It's a great capper to the end of this week and to kind of a hoops crazy week / couple weeks in general, you know?
I know, man. What a string of emotions. I know you've been loving the hoop, and we had to get on and chat up.
Quality all around. Even the Eastern Conference Finals were good hoop. It turned into some good ball.
Yeah, it was nice at the Raptors.
I really wish we would have gotten them first round, to be honest, now that we've looked at everything.
They did a lot of the same things that we did to Cleveland, just a slight bit better.
Right, they won their home games, basically. There were a couple games that could have bounced our way, but, you know, it's all good. It's just interesting to look back on.
We move forward, and it's vacation time now for the boys.
Oh, man, I bet they're loving this, watching these games, just chilling, relaxing after that season. What a grind.
Yeah, have you seen some of the escapades going on from the players?
I haven't seen a lot of escapades other than yesterday's drama, if you could say, but...
Reggie Jackson was with Paul George and some other folks. They were doing a little European thing. They were in Barcelona. They did not come to Madrid.
How do all these guys know each other, you know? It's just like they all just like travel together and hang out together and they hoop against each other, and it's just crazy that they're able to then go and do that. Like, I was wondering what they were doing together. I saw a picture of it, but I didn't really put it together.
I would love to know how they became tight. I think they're around the same age.
Did you guys meet up?
No, and they went to a lot of spots, like, really fast. Like, they were in the Greek islands, they were in Germany, so they hopped around, like, very quickly.
Were there any other Pistons involved, or was it just Reggie?
Just Reg, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Drummond, currently in Turks and Caicos, I think, or recently was.
Really?
Yeah, there's a hashtag Days with Dre going out on Instagram that you'll have a fun time looking at later, I'm sure.
It's good for these guys to get their mind off the game, kind of get out there, do some things, enjoy themselves. You know, these are young guys who still need to see what else is out there outside of hoop and just, you know, Detroit, whatnot.
Oh, yeah. Just rest in all ways, eat well, don't do too much.
Anything else? Do you hear from any other guys?
I think Tobias Harris was in the Caribbean somewhere, and that's the only thing that I saw.
Okay. I mean, I think I would probably go on a pretty lengthy vacation if I was Tobias, especially after the way the season probably went for him.
Yeah, so much bouncing. I mean, just having to move mid-season and then immediately lock into a playoff run.
Oh, he probably still has to, like, you know, now make a home here, so he's got a big summer ahead of him.
I'm sure guys like Aaron Baines and the rest of our crew will help him settle in.
Yeah, absolutely. I was really excited to see that you went to the Spanish game there because I'm such a fan of Euro hoops in general.
Yes, it was a wonderful thing to watch. It was a blowout. Real Madrid had a very good offense, but they were so locked in at defense.
Really?
There was
That's interesting.
Nothing doing. Like, so communicating so well, moving, just always at the spot that they needed to be, and they just had a great game. It was fun to watch. A lot more fundamental, a lot more...
Right. It's kind of like everything you hear from the European scouts and whatnot. You literally just said, like, everything they preach.
Really? Yeah.
I'm surprised how many big names Real Madrid has. They have some guys who have obviously played top-tier hoop in the NBA and obviously now playing it over there. And
yeah,
I'm kind of surprised that this squad got a W on them, this 7th seed in the game, too.
Yeah, the first game was very close, and then the second game was also very close. But
yeah.
The funny thing that happened, so there was this guy on the other team that right when he checked in, the crowd started booing and, like, whistling and flipping him off, everything, to this one guy named Rojas.
Just hating Rojas, huh? Just hating him.
I was with James, our friend James, call him Kins, but we were just like, what is going on? Like, something must have happened. And so after the game, we searched it, and there's a video. He got a little tangled up with our boy Gustavo Ayón.
Yeah, my favorite player maybe on that team other than Sergio Llull.
Llull is really fun to watch. But basically, Ayón was like, had the ball, and the ref blew the whistle, and he just turned around and like threw an elbow, and it hit this Rojas guy, and Ayón got ejected. That was early in the first quarter of second game.
But it's pretty crazy because I was wondering why in the box score, why he barely played.
Right. He was in there for the first couple minutes, and that was that.
So that's how they stole it, huh? The big man was out, so they had to play without him.
The big man.
I mean, they have a pretty good stable of bigs anyway, so I'm kind of surprised that they didn't still win it.
Based on how Ayón played in this game, he was scoring in so many different ways.
Dude, he was solid in the NBA. He was really good.
Was he in the league for a little bit?
I feel like he played for New Orleans. Okay. I remember he was in the league for like 2-3 seasons tops.
Okay.
Came over he was like the best player over in Mexico.
There's just so many basketball
players. That's the only reason why
so.
I know about him, is because he came over.
Yeah, him and Lowell had some great action.
Yeah, I hope we see Lowell in the NBA here shortly.
Is he a Spaniard?
Yeah, he's a Spaniard. He's owned by the Rockets. He was drafted by, I think, Denver. They made this like draft day trade, and he was drafted in the second round pick, and it's like the highest traded dollar mark for a second round pick ever in like the history of the NBA or something.
Wow, I'd like to see him in the league because he plays really beautifully.
Would you say he's a point guard, or is he more like a combo guard?
Well, they were playing him and Sergio Rodriguez in the backcourt together a lot, but I like him as a point guard. He can do both. He was hitting step-back threes a little. Like, he can do both, but I like him as a facilitator. Like, he really zips it around.
Yeah, if you look at just his season and his overall stats from career, it looks like he's a really good passer. I obviously haven't seen the live footage of him like you saw.
We got dudes on the ground over here.
Had you gone to a game before?
I hadn't gone, and so this was great timing with Kins being in town. Just a couple more things about that. There was no merchandise at the game.
That's really interesting. Do you have any idea or any guesses to why you think that would be?
We saw tons of people wearing jerseys, but no merchandise. I mean, we walked around as much as we could and did not see anything. So
looks like you're going online.
Tons of people wearing it, but they must have all shopped the internet. So then beer is not served. Like, you can get non-alcoholic beer.
That's insane because of just the atmosphere, and you would seem that people would be getting liquored up.
I know. It was all from the heart. They're very...
Do they serve beer and booze at soccer games?
I don't think so. Like, when I went to the Atletico game, I don't remember anyone, coming back with beers.
I'm fascinated by this European hoop game that you went to. Like, I can't get over it.
You can bring your own snacks. Like, I saw dudes, walking in with a bunch of Doritos.
I couldn't help myself, so I had to look up Gustavo Ayón. Is that how you say it?
Ayón.
So he did play for New Orleans. He also played for the Magic and Milwaukee, the Bucks. Oh, and the Hawks. Oh, my God.
Wow, he's been around.
He really got around from 2011 to 2014.
Man, I wonder why he fell out of favor.
I think it's just there's so many bigs out there.
Right.
He's a little older now at this point.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though, that now he just dominates at the highest level in the Euro League.
Yeah, I had caught parts of games before just at bars and stuff, and I always liked how he moved out there, but he wasn't by any means dominating. He was just kind of cleaning up, Mm-hmm. But this game, he was cutting, getting to the rim, hitting free throws, stepped out for a couple jumpers. It was cool.
That's really awesome. I'm glad we got to hear about that. I'm trying to think. And there's one other guy that I was. Trey Thompkins. Did he have a pretty good game early on?
They went to him the first 2 or 3 possessions in the post, and he converted once, and then they were just really moving it and pretty balanced after that, and he actually didn't play all that much, or just didn't really get looks all that much, but he was a good presence out there, you could tell.
I was surprised to see him. I'm like, how do I know that name? And then I remembered, he was actually a pretty good player at Georgia, and then got scooped up by Clip, and then he didn't really work out as a second-round pick. Now look at him. And I also saw did Jeff Taylor get any burn?
Yeah, he was in there.
Kind of surprised to see him on the squad.
What do you know about him?
Maybe the Bobcats drafted him back when they were called the Bobcats.
You're right.
And I think he was over there for 3 or 4 years. He must have been looking for other things. Maybe couldn't get a deal.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Bobcats.
Really? God, that's unbelievable. He was almost a first-round pick. I feel like he was top of the second round.
31st overall.
Yeah. I just looked him up. He's from Sweden. No way.
I know. I love finding out about these guys. The stories and the routes are really amazing.
How intriguing do you think it is for a player like a Jeff Taylor or someone drafted maybe in the later second round that, had a few years with their squad and then didn't really latch on or get that next contract to then be hit up by come out squad like Real Madrid and be like, you want to hoop? I would be like, yes.
Yeah, come hoop. The atmospheres are amazing, and they just get to live in a different country and learn all about that. I mean, if I was 8 inches taller and much more muscular, I would be pursuing some hoop and being abroad.
I'm telling you. Like, maybe if my brother becomes, like, super tall and kills it the next 3 years, he goes straight overseas and then goes to the NBA.
I think that's the plan. Get him over in Slovenia on Olimpija.
As long as he gets some shots up. The thing is, a lot of young guys, they really, like, take their licks, you could say, out on these squads.
That's true. People are unkind to the young guns coming in.
Well, when you're playing this kind of ball, this kind of, like, top-level, sophisticated hoop, you have to be.
Yeah. Actually, another Aussie, Joe Ingles, he had an interview and he was saying he turned professional in Australia at age 17.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was just living on his own in Melbourne. And, I mean, he's so young and guys would try to rough him up. But when he first got in, he really proved himself early. He had like 24 points or something in his first game as like a 17 or 18-year-old.
And if I remember correctly about Ingles, like, he's someone who kind of got scooped up into the league later, right? He wasn't drafted. Like, was he just like a free agent pickup at like 26, 27 years old?
Yes, he was. He actually played for Blatt down in Israel there. He kind of fell out of favor in one of those teams that was really good, and he was on Barcelona for a little bit and always just kind of was content, but definitely waiting for some kind of call-up. And then the Clippers signed him. And then the Clippers had to drop him, and he was just kind of left without a team right before the season was about to start a couple years ago.
Wow.
And then the Jazz scooped him up, and it was right after the Jazz had drafted Dante Exum, who was a young boomer. A lot of people think might have been for, like, kind of the mentoring aspect, you know, have another Aussie out there in Utah.
Oh, I believe it. Going back to Exum, he's one of my dudes. Like, it's sad that he was hurt this whole season because he had really come on at the end of the previous season.
Yeah, I really want to see him play.
It'll be interesting because they just grabbed, Mack, and but I still think they'll slot him in there at the starting point guard spot, give him the spot back. But they have a lot of depth there. They still have Trey Burke, so we'll see what that point guard position's all about.
Yeah, and Mack's a guy that can come in and give great backup point guard minutes, but also shift over to the 2.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want him as my starting one, but he is just a great third guard off the bench, and he can obviously play the 2, which is he's probably even a little bit more comfortable than at the 1.
Sure.
He kind of reminds me of a Rod Stuck.
Yeah, I like that.
A little bit more 3-ball, I think, because he can shoot.
Yeah, I was going to say slightly more range.
He's a good player. Well, anyway, we probably got I'd say 5 more minutes on this chat for me here this morning. So if we want to maybe talk about some NBA stuff or just what we're looking for in this final.
What do you think? Have you thought about a prediction?
Oh, you know what's interesting about this? I don't know if I'll ever give a prediction. Maybe for the Pistons, but I don't know if on this cast I'll ever be a prediction guy. Do you want to be our prediction guy? I
don't really like it either. I love just watching it play out, but
I know it's so hard to. I can easily predict the Pistons because I'm always going to be on board, and I'm always going to, in my heart, believe that we're going to win each game.
Right.
So for a series like this, I just want to see such good hoop, and I just want to see all the stars kind of align here, see what the coaches have to offer, everything that you want in a final. Hopefully it goes deep. I think the Cavs can give them a better run than they gave them last year, but this is all stuff that I think everyone else hopefully feels.
There's plenty of reasons to strongly believe in either team, and it shows how great they are. I mean, obviously you have to be great making it this far, but for me, I'm just happy that I really enjoy both storylines.
Absolutely. I don't think that the NBA or ESPN or any of these guys could have asked for a better. I'm sure they wanted it to be these 2 teams. When the Thunder were up 3-1, they were probably sweating bullets.
We got the rematch.
Serious rematch. LeBron has all his guys this time. He's got his guns are locked and loaded.
Yeah.
No excuses. The Warriors coming off the best season in NBA history. Can they finish? How will it be looked at if they don't finish? Will all these old dudes are going to come out of the woodwork be like, they didn't finish. They're not the best team ever, stuff like that.
If they lose in 6 or less, I think we'll hear a good amount of that, but also just how they've kind of battled with Curry going down and really just stomping this upstart Thunder team after they jumped out 3-1. It's been so impressive. Yeah,
I will never use that kind of logic against them ever. What they've done has been phenomenal. And if they would have lost to the Thunder, I would have not even I would have still said they had the best squad ever. Literally, that series was outstanding. The Thunder played so hard. The Thunder wanted it. They wanted it. You couldn't have asked for anything more, and it could have went. It would have been either way. It could, we could easily be sitting here right now, Thunder Cavs.
Indeed.
So there's just nothing, and I feel real bad for that whole squad. But they'll be
back.
Hopefully. Can't say that actually.
Right. I mean, it'd be cool if Durant just kind of quickly got down to business with with committing to at least coming back for this 1 year. You know, a young guy like Andre Roberson, who's got so much improving to do this offseason, like showed so many strides, like for him to have that kind of security and buy-in, like a lot of these guys, just better.
Definitely. Such a fit for Roberson. And Westy and Serge have 1 more year over there, so why not come back, KD? Even if he just comes back on a 1-year deal here.
Yeah,
like just roll back and grab the 1 year and roll back and play 1 more with Russ and the guys and see if you can, like, you're obviously right there. You give it 1 more shot. How could you leave it at this? Having the 3-1 lead, just gut-wrenching. Like, I feel for the Thunder. I feel for Billy after that season, man. That's Billy taking a quick lick after his first season.
For sure. Gosh, one thing, a little stat from statmuse.com. The Warriors hit 93s in the series versus the Thunder. That's the most in a conference finals, and it's not even really close. The next is 77, the Magic.
Wow, yeah.
But the Cavs hit 68 in the conference finals, and that's the 3rd most. So what's that, 158 total? Would you say we will see over 150 combined threes in this series?
I don't think so. I think the Cavs would be insane to get into a 3-point shootout with the Warriors.
That's true.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Even with how they've been playing, they need to pick their times when they're going to be bombing from deep, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be tough. Like, the Warriors are probably going to get it again. Like, they're just going to get that. Like, that just kind of seems like what they do. Like, when you read that stat to me, I thought to myself, like, wow. To be honest, it wasn't even, you weren't even saying to yourself, oh my God, all these threes the whole series. Right. It just was kind of the series. That's just how it was. That's how they play. That's what it is. And the fact that it was that record, it's like, wow, I didn't even really register that they were like going crazy.
Exactly. It's within them. And at no point when I see any record by them at this point, but especially one involving threes, am I surprised, first of all, that they broke it, and second of all, that it's a very wide margin. There's
an expectation, and I think that's why it was so shocking when they went down 3-1, and the world, I felt like, almost just like stopped.
It was very odd.
It was wild, and I felt like the Warriors didn't even affect them. Like, they were all like, yep, okay, like, we're just gonna have to win this. Then to just pop 3 in a row like that,
yeah,
my mind's boggled. I'm happy for them, but
they're very within it, and we'll see if they can keep it rolling.
I'm so excited for tonight. It's going to be a great game. Are you going to be up for it? I know you've been on your hoop game like no one I've ever seen.
I had to stay up for the Game 7, and
how could you not?
I'm still kind of paying for it now, so we'll see how tonight goes, because I do have school tomorrow at 8 in the morning. Man,
was it great to get some texts in during that game? To be able to live chat during a game, something else, huh?
I know, very cool. All right, man.
Yeah, everyone needs to check the Twitter out, though, for all the Real Madrid stuff, because we talked about that a bunch, and if you want to see some live look-ins.
That's at Pass First Hoops. That's all the time we got. This has been Drew from Madrid.
This has been Pat from Pleasant Ridge. Talk to you guys next time.
Thank you for checking in with the Pass First Hoops cast. Subscribe, iTunes, Droid, Stitcher, all the stuff. We will check you next time.
Signing off. See you, dude.
Peace.